bring in Matt Ryan, the Falcons quarterback. Congrats on the win in Oakland, Matt. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, happy to be on, Dan.
What do you remember about the scouts, the negative things they said about you?
Oh man, it's they kind of find everything. For me, one of the big knocks was too many interceptions. I guess my senior year and all that kind of stuff, and in terms of arm strength, all those kind of things, they critique everything. And to me, like you guys mentioned, I think the most important thing that's often overlooked is accuracy, right? It doesn't matter how it comes out or whatever, motion, size, all that kind of stuff. It's about whether or not you can put the ball in the right place at the right time, and to me, that's the most important thing.
Paulie, do you have Matt's draft profile?
Yeah, from NFL.com. Do you want the good or the bad?
Matt, are you okay with the good and the bad?
Yeah, you can. I've heard it all. It's all good.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Paulie.
Lacks the arm strength to challenge deep secondary. Cannot run much at all, is actually said.
Okay. Are those
That's
accurate?
good.
Somehow you overcame that to become the third pick in the draft. Could you explain to somebody how difficult it is to play quarterback in the NFL? If they had never seen it, if you were describing your job, what would your job description be?
Well, you have to have great vision, and so you have to be able to see things in basically in the amount of time it takes you to blink your eye. You have to be able to process information, understand where you need to go with the football, and then physically be able to do it. Put it where you want to be able to put it in the right spot at the right time, and so that part's difficult. And not to mention all the other stuff that goes along with playing this position in this league at this time. I mean, it's as popular as ever, and probably as scrutinized as ever.
What about your personality and what you show to your teammates? We were talking about Jay Cutler, and look, I don't want you to be involved in Jay Cutler bashing, but the personality that you show, that you care, you're angry, you're excited. How aware are you during the game of how you look?
Well, I think body language is so important, and your teammates feed off of it. That's one of the things about playing quarterback and leadership is that part of playing this position is all of those things that go along with it. And for me, I'm always conscious of my body language and my poise and just trying to stay calm and be a calming influence for everybody around you because things are crazy out there. And I want those guys to come in the huddle and look at a guy that, is going to solve the problem for us. And that's what I always try and focus on.
Do you ever get mad almost as a demonstration just so they see you're getting mad? Like just change it up so they don't, sometimes an umpire or a manager will get thrown out of a game just to say to his team, I'm fighting for you, even though he doesn't want to really get thrown out of the game.
Yeah, there's usually enough stuff that goes on out there that I'm actually genuinely mad. So I mean that's not that difficult. I think sometimes it's on the other end where you have to rein back and not let it go too much.
Do you work the officials?
Yeah, I think you have to at the quarterback position, just with the way the rules are. Anytime I get contacted, below the waist or above the shoulders, I think you're doing your team a disservice if you don't try and lobby for those calls because, that's part of the rules. And so I definitely do.
Does Ed Hockley have better arms than you?
Yes, he does. I think he spends a lot more time on it too. I mean, he works hard. Man. He every time I see him, I'm always impressed.
He's Matt Ryan, the Falcons quarterback, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. If you owned a team right now, today, and we're going to do a draft later, and you have to take a quarterback now for the next 7 years, you can't take yourself. Who are you taking?
Oof, tough pick. I mean, that's a good question. I heard you guys talking about Carson Wentz right before I got on. Obviously, he's had a great start to it. Andrew Luck, to me, is a guy that's extremely talented, young, can do everything. I know
Are you stalling? You're stalling
he's one
right
of the
now.
guys I would think about.
You're stalling.
I'm definitely stalling.
All right, so
I'm just throwing out every name I can think of good young players.
but you're not taking Brady, you're not taking Breeze later because of their age. But if you're taking these young quarterbacks, and we're trying to figure this out, I don't know if Dak Prescott's good. I don't know if Carson Wentz is good. But what should we be looking for with these young quarterbacks that you think will probably guarantee or at least give them a hope at long-term success?
Well, I think the number one thing is well, there's two things. To me, it's about making plays on third downs to keep drives going, and then obviously scoring situation plays. To me, those are critical at the quarterback position. And so I think both those guys. I mean, I saw a little bit of last night. I haven't seen Dak play yet, but I saw a little bit of last night Carson in the Monday night game. I got to catch some of that, and I thought he did a nice job with all of that. The other thing that I thought was impressive, was I think their first 6 plays of the game were all empty formation stuff. Nobody in the backfield, which is impressive to see as a rookie.
Yeah, we saw that with Trevor Siemian, that opener against Carolina, that they came out throwing. And granted, he's a second-year player, but he's really a rookie. And that impressed me that you're saying, all right, and you can speak better to it in quarterbacking terminology, but that confidence level to say there's nobody in the backfield. Everybody knows you're throwing the ball. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, I think there's some positives to that too. Is being able to kind of spread everything out allows you to see things a little bit more clearly. It just defines things a little bit easier for you as a quarterback, and so I also like the idea of getting those guys into a rhythm. Because there's always nerves or whatever, that anxious feeling leading into a game, and when you can get those first couple completions under your belt, especially as a young player, it's huge.
Matt joining us on behalf of Play 60 Field Day with the NFL Pros. Explain what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool partnership between Danimals and Fuel Up to Play 60. They're promoting healthy lifestyles, so healthy, nutritious choices and being active for 60 minutes a day. And as part of this program, 5 lucky kids across the country are going to have an opportunity to have an NFL player come to their school, have an awesome field day, get out and move around and have a pretty, awesome experience. And it's really special for those kids. And, in order for it to win, they've got to look out for a Golden Bongo ticket, kind of like a Willy Wonka type promotion. And,
nice.
and if they find the Golden Bongo thing, they're going to have the lucky opportunity to have an NFL player come to their school.
Who would have freaked you out if they came to your school when you were in grade school, a quarterback or a player?
Brett Favre was my guy when I was young, and so if I would have ever had the opportunity to kind of meet him at an event like that where he came out to school, I would have probably been so nervous I couldn't talk, and just kind of stood there awkwardly and watched.
Well, hopefully you don't stand there and look awkwardly against the Saints on Monday night. It's always great to catch up with you, Matt. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you.
Matt Ryan, Falcons quarterback.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.